2,500 of these or 25 of these for one of these? Is that really a possibility in 2026? According to one analyst, that is. I'll explain why and how as we explore. Who would think that next year gold's price could go down? Are we starting to feel gold fatigue now? Well, there are some that have been saying that gold's price is overvalued and we may be at the top. Because remember, just recently, back in April, the price of gold has reached an all-time high when adjusted for inflation. So it would make sense to see a pullback. But there's not many people that believe that's going to happen. In fact, I'm one of those that thinks that the price is going to stay where it is, or at least stay above $3,000 an ounce. But there's one analyst who feels very differently. We're going to get into that in just a moment, but I want to remind you that if there is a dip in precious metal prices of gold or silver, well, keep Summit Metals in mind. In fact, I do, and even though they are the channel sponsor, they have proven themselves to be a very competitive price leader for gold and silver products out there, as well as excellent service and fast shipping. In fact, I added 3 more of these gram bars to add to my Summit Metals wallet, which is exclusive to them. So what does Bloomberg say about this one analyst who believes that gold's price is going to drop to as low as $2,500 an ounce next year? Well, gold's rally may be over, according to them. They're already writing the obituary, the epitaph of the rally for gold. I don't think that's the case, though. But according to a commodities expert who predicts prices going to be dropping substantially late next year to well under $3,000 an ounce. So this research this call is for later in the end of 2026. Max Layton, who's the global commodities head at Citi Research, predicts gold will trade at about $2,500 to $2,700 in the second half of next year, down about $900 or so, less than where it is right now today. Our call is very much a 2026 bearish call for the precious metal. That's right, they're thinking it's going to go down. And Layton told Bloomberg in a Thursday interview, near term, we have an average of around $3,200 an ounce in the third quarter and $3,000 in the fourth quarter of this year. So he's saying that we're at the top now and to expect prices to continue to fall from here on out. Gold reached recently just above $3,380, and it is up by more than 70% over the past 2 years. Layton said that Citi's had been bullish on gold for the last couple of years as investors flocked to the precious metal. He said people are buying gold to hedge against a downside risk to their household wealth over fears of slowing economic growth and global uncertainty. The move from $2,600 to $3,300 this year has been all about investors buying bars and coins, particularly bars because they're hedging against a downside in U.S. and global growth, as well as a downside in equities related to the downside in the U.S. and economic and global growth, which has come about because of the combination of still extremely high interest rates in the U.S. by historic standards and tariffs. But I think it's more than just bars and coins that retailers are buying, the retailers are selling to us as consumers, but it's also central banks. I think that's a much bigger deal. Central banks buying this. I already disagree with this analysis so far. He expects a drop in prices due to weakening investment demand, anticipating U.S. interest rate cuts and improved economic prospects. Although when interest rates are cut, usually gold goes up. We're getting close to this one big beautiful bill passing Congress, said Layton. We think that is going to mark a shift in sentiment towards U.S. growth and basically a slight reduction or even a moderate reduction, and even possibly by the end of next year. Because what is a reduction of? Sentiment towards U.S. growth, well, basically a slight reduction, I guess, in growth. I'm not sure. But anyways, heading into the midterm and lower interest rates as well. Well, if economic activity is going to go down, I can see how that might affect silver prices to the downside, but not gold. I would think gold would rise during that time. The bill has a section citing remedies against unfair foreign taxes. It's expected to hit Canadians and international investors with a higher tax on dividend they receive from the U.S.-based investment, placing more money in American coffers to eventually lead to growth in the U.S. This bill, the passing of it being a net stimulatory for the U.S. economy, is going to reduce fears about growth and lead to a bit more positivity and a little less investment buying into gold. So I guess he's saying that it's going to cause growth, and people are going to look for assets that are a little bit more risky that they can grow with their. And I can understand that to a degree as well too. But remember, central banks are the major catalyst for these high prices right now, based off of their holding it and buying it, continuing to buy it. They're still buying now, even if it has reached an apex. They're holding on and they're still accumulating. While Citi paints a bleak picture for gold prices, major financial institutions such as Goldman Sachs project the prices to rise to $3,700 by late 2025 and $4,000 by mid-2026, thanks to robust central bank buying. Bank of America as well predicts prices to rise to $4,000 by 2026, and I talked about that in a previous video. And actually, I agree more with that analysis, although I don't know that it's going to get quite that high. I don't think we're going to go as low as Leighton says we're going to get. I could see it in a sense kind of moderating between those two positions, but I still think overall it's going to go up. Now again, I could be wrong, but so far when I've made my year-end price predictions for gold, it has come true. Although honestly, I've not revised my prediction this year after being right again. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that and put it out there again and see what happens with gold by the end of this year. We're about halfway through the year right now, and just now starting summer. The summer doldrums have started in a sense for precious metals, at least over the last trading days that has been the case. So who knows? No one really truly does know. All I can do is give you my thoughts on it. But no matter what my thoughts are, and by the way, no matter how right or wrong I am, you should not use what I say in order to gauge when or how to buy precious metals. As far as the market, as far as what happens in the market, you should base your decision based off of your level of understanding. I do like to provide education, insight, analysis here, but nonetheless, that does not mean that you should make your decisions based off of that. Always do your own research. You can use what I say as confirmation bias to some extent, but always challenge, no matter where you get your information, and no matter what happens. I'm sponsored by a bullion dealer, Summit Metals now, but that does not necessarily mean that you should just automatically buy from them. I always encourage you to do your research on whoever is sponsoring the channel for no matter what. And so whenever you buy, do your research, check it out, see if it's right for you, and make your decision accordingly. But there you have it. Now, one thing I do like to do on this channel is to give you the latest news and analysis, and also tips and other information regarding precious metals. This is primarily a news channel. That's where most of my views come from. But I like to talk about precious metals in different ways as well. So I hope you will check out those videos as well. I do have over 8,000 videos now on the channel. So more than likely, if you go to the channel and search out my videos, you can use the search page on the channel page, or the search function on the channel page. You can probably, if you search it out, more than likely I've done a video on it. And so there you go. But I believe in gold, no matter what the price does. And if the price were to fall that low, I would be shocked and surprised, pleasantly, by the way, because I'm still a buyer. But nonetheless, it matters not, because in the long run, gold will protect our wealth, and so will silver. And that's a consistent message that I want to continue to send to you, and that you can take to the bank. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section below. I hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.